It's good to know that you are still there. Thank you so much for staying tuned. We have a legal practitioner in the house. I will want to analyze Chapter 2 of the 1999 Nigerian Constitution regarding citizen rights. Okay, we have a legal practitioner, like I said, his name is Salawo Momosani Uricha. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so explanation. First, what does what would I call it? Chapter 2 of the 1999 Nigerian Constitution. What does it explain? Because all of us we want the chapter 2. Why are we picking chapter 2? So let's hear.
It's actually chapter 2 of the Constitution. It's what designates the duties of the government, the policies, where it regulates the fundamental objectives of state policy and the duties of the citizens.
Oh, duties of the citizens.
Citizens and the policies of the state policy, how the government is supposed to handle or run the Nigerian state in favor of the citizens. And the role of the citizens, that is the duty of the citizen to the government, to the nation. That's the breakdown of what chapter 2 is about. It's majorly from, let's say, section 13 to 21 or 23 of the Constitution.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so let's outline what is there, what is the need for the citizens so that we'll know.
What is the need is one, that's the chapter that gives sovereignty to the citizens. Okay. Yes, that's the chapter that says that designates that because the country is about the citizens of Nigeria. Okay. That the Constitution derives its power from the citizens of Nigeria. That the government derives its power from the citizens of Nigeria. It is the chapter that also specifies the duty of the judiciary, the executive and the legislative to work all together for the benefit of the Nigerian people. Yeah, it's also the chapter that talks about the security and welfare of the Nigerian people being the real duty of the government. Yes, that is what the government is supposed to be about, ensuring that the welfare and the security of the Nigerian people are well taken care of.
Okay. Yes. Okay, now let's look at the crucial, I'm sure in that chapter we have the ones that are crucial that you feel that this one, as a legal practitioner, that we need to ensure. So what are those ones?
Most of everything is crucial there, but when you really want to look at it, you state that considering the position we are in the country right now, you see that we should look at the role of the government in ensuring security, the role of the government in ensuring that the welfare of the government or the workers and the Nigerian people are well taken care of. The role of the government in ensuring that there is food, availability of food. The role of the government in ensuring that education is made, that both the elderly and the young and everybody is well educated. In providing good roads, providing so many things. Those are the major reasons why this chapter was created in the Constitution. Okay. Yes. And as of now, what we are saying is that there are some lapses. Yes, there are some lapses, and that is why we are facing the challenge of whether the country is going to go ahead or not. People are now trying to fight for their rights in a different manner because when the government is failing to provide security, provide welfare, provide food, people start rising up to fight for their rights.
Yeah. Okay, let's look at the challenges when it comes to enforcing.
Right. Yes. The problem we have majorly is that this particular chapter of the Constitution is not enforceable by the courts. Yes, the power of the courts to enforce this particular chapter has been ousted by Section 6 or Section 6C of the Constitution.
Why?
Yes.
So if the right of, you are talking from the angle of the professional, me from the angle of the person. If the right of a citizen is encroached on, Is there no way there will be an enforcement to make sure, especially maybe if it's coming from government or wherever? I don't know.
Yeah, that is why this topic is important, because now the problem we are having, people now don't have any way of holding the political leaders to
Accountable.
accountable, because now this is the thing that you are supposed to do for we the citizens,
And you're not
stated
doing
here,
it.
and you're not doing it.
And you promise.
And you have promised that you're going to do these things, and it is clearly listed that this is your duty to us as citizens. And now we are paying our taxes, we are doing the necessary things, but the ones you are supposed to give us, you are not giving us. How do we force you to give us? That's why you see people are now resorting to going for protests, going for different, taking different actions just
To draw home their
to draw the attention of the
attention of,
government
yeah.
to enforce these things for them. When the reason why, because there is no law court you can take the government to enforce this particular. You can't take them to court and say, why is there no school in this particular village? Or why is there no police stations in this particular village? Yes, why is there no market in this particular village? You cannot sue the government for that. Which normally the government is supposed to ensure that there are police stations everywhere, there are security personnel everywhere, there are schools everywhere. But when the schools are not there and you can't hold the government, take them to court for it, the political leaders end up doing whatever they
Whatever
like
they like.
and wait for the next tenure to manipulate or to get elected as by the masses, if we put it like that.
So how do we, as a legal practitioner now, how can awareness be created and also sensitization for people to know their rights? Because like I said earlier, a lot of citizens don't even know what belongs to them or what is
Yes,
their entitlements.
yes,
Because if you look at it, what is your entitlement? You now become a beggar asking for it.
for it.
Meanwhile, it's supposed to be yours.
Yes, you see, now the solution to these things, where the enlightenment, the awareness, where the citizens should know it, what citizens should know is that there is a way for every general rule, there is an exception.
Mm.
The general rule is that the judiciary cannot not interfere in matters of section 2,
Yeah.
of chapter 2.
Mm.
But there are specific laws created by the National Assembly, creating some of these bodies that a citizen can actually attack or charge the court for to question the enforceability of that particular act.
Okay.
Let's assume now there is a Federal Character Commission. Yes. If you are questioning and this particular chapter is the one that provides for the federal character. You understand?
Okay.
So it is under this act that the National Assembly has extracted and created a particular act for federal establishing the Federal Character Commission. Yes, you
Okay.
cannot sue the general government, the entire government, based on the fact that okay, the employment or appointment of people are maybe from one particular area. But
Okay.
you can question the Federal Character Commission. Yes, you can sue
Okay.
them and ask them what is their duty. Are they not saying that these things are going on?
Mm.
Yes, you can sue them.
Okay.
Yes, so for example, now we have the National Ethics Commission. It's under this act that the national ethics is provided for. Yes, so when you see things are going wrong, you go specifically to the body created by the National Assembly to regulate that particular aspect. When you're saying that the prices of things are getting out of hand, there's a commission that is created to regulate. You sue those people, you take them to the courts directly. That's how you enforce your rights.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll go for a break, and when we come back, okay, you just share your experience, cases you have handled, okay, concerning this act. All right, it's time for us to go for a break, and when we return, we'll continue the discussions. Please don't go anywhere. It's a good morning, Abuja, and we've been discussing something that is very, very important to all of us, our rights as citizens of this wonderful nation called Nigeria. I will still have our legal practitioner in the house. So now, let's talk about, I know that in your field now, or you must have handled some cases that has notable cases, I mean, that has to do with this citizens' rights or chapter 2 of the 1999 Nigerian Constitution. So share some of them with us.
Actually, like I said earlier, you cannot sue the
Mm.
government for this, but you have to pick up one or two parastatals that or establishments that are established by the Act.
Okay.
Yes, I wouldn't want to go into the details of matters
I understand.
outside. I want to say there are sometimes one or two few times I've picked up matters based on the Freedom of Information Act. There are certain information, certain details you need to verify to pick up with somebody. Yes, when you get the details that this is what these people are supposed to do, they will give you the information. You can sue them based on you can require for that information.
Okay.
Yes, from them. Like I was saying just now, if they are saying so and so persons are employed, this are employed, like I was talking about the federal character, we can apply for follow the due process under the Freedom of Information Act to get some of those details. Yes.
To be sure
To be
you
sure,
what you're
yes,
saying to us is what.
yes, to be sure that yes, when you say okay, this information, this is what you're telling me, this is what the laws, the constitution says about the appointments and all that. But you give us your own details of how the
Employment of
employment
it.
and employment have been done. We pick up matters like that.
Okay.
But in the long run, you see, even if you succeed in them or not,
Mm.
it's always an attempt to put the establishment on its toes. And most times we end up getting what we want because they are, before you get to follow them, you see they are already in breach of the acts and
Yeah.
established them.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are talking of other things like the EFCC now, yeah, it was established under that particular chapter because the government was supposed to, it's part of the duty of the government to fight corruption and abuse of power.
Mm.
So the EFCC, the ICPC, they were established for courtesy of this particular
Consumption.
chapter. Yes. So there, they handle cases, and sometimes when they carry out their functions, and you're saying, okay, you are supposed to be the chief anti-corruption officer of this country. What is happening to this one? Why are you not fighting this one?
Mm.
We can pick them up. We can always ask for information like that from them, not only by shouting. There are different acts, like I said, the Freedom of Information Act is one very powerful law that came into existence under the mechanism, and it's very good for citizens to be aware that you can exercise your right through all these kind of acts. This particular act empowers you to pick it up if you feel affected and you follow the right processes that created by that act. If you are saying the government said they have released so and so amount of money for the refineries to start working,
Mm-hmm.
yes, you can find out properly. You can
Mm.
write to the particular, or you can write to NNPC, or you can write to the Ministry of Petroleum Resources. They
Okay.
should give you this information.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, if at all they don't give it, you write to the Federal High Court. You file your matter under the Freedom of Information Act. The
Okay.
Federal High Court, you get that information.
Okay.
Yes, and there are other laws like that that still support your case.
It's good to hear that we can actually.
Yes,
Okay,
citizens can.
briefly as a roundup, what
Yes.
are the challenges for you as a legal practitioner? Challenges in trying to make sure that the citizens' rights are protected. What are the challenges?
Yes, one of the major challenges is that as we are talking about these matters now, yeah, if you're not properly, the citizens on their own, they may find it, you may be interested in fighting for this right, but you may not have the capacity, you understand me, or the
Capacity,
financial wherewithal, you
okay,
understand me,
to
as
pay
you
the
are
lawyer.
ahead to brief your counsel, to file a pick up the matter in the High Court. So most times it's organizations, associations that human rights organizations that pick up
Okay,
all these things.
okay.
And I think that is one of the issues we face in the
Okay.
country.
Okay.
The costs, the cost of getting justice.
Hmm.
Yes, the cost.
It's a very big
Yes, that
challenge.
is one of the
Yeah.
greatest challenges the citizens have in the country.
Hmm.
The cost of justice it is on the high side for an average citizen.
Hmm.
So most times we find it hard to really come back and say the court is now the last of all the common man. Because even in normal abuses, normal cases, even crimes, sometimes now
Hmm.
people get away with it because they have the view that the person committing the crime has more capacity, has more financial capacity than you that the crime
Or
was
have
committed
one
against, or have
godfather,
one
god
godfather somewhere,
relation
or one
somewhere.
relation somewhere. So you as an ordinary citizen that don't have that, they will come back and meet you and then they will settle the case out of court and give you some,
Which is
and
very bad.
ahead.
Which
So
is very, very bad.
that's the cost of justice is what we are suffering particularly in this country.
Okay, so that's why we have a lot of NGOs. I
Yes,
know the female lawyers,
yes.
they too, they help
We have a female lawyers. We have the a lot of NGOs
that help out.
that help out. Yes, a lot of NGOs help out. The guys, the female lawyers are talking about FIDA.
Trigger,
Yes,
yes. I still remember the
they
40
help.
case.
Yes, they help out. But
Mm,
it's not every case they can
mm.
help
But I
you
think
with.
we need to have more of such NGOs that will help out because it's very bad for you to see. For instance, you're talking about crime. Somebody offended you, know that this person, but because you don't have the
Suppressing you.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
So those
and you
are
are just looking at the person go scot free just because the
there's,
person have
there's little you can do about it. But as we're trying to draw the attention of the masses to the proper channel to channel their anger through.
okay.
Now, if at all we follow these channels and
Mm,
not just follow the channels that wouldn't yield result, that will
mm,
later result to anarchy. You
okay.
understand? If we spend the funds we are raising for protests and all that, and we use it to channel some of these matters, challenge some of these people, we will get results.
Okay.
Then at the long run, some of these organizations will start working, some of these things will start working. It may not be today, but knowledge is power. Once you get to know that this is how you can go about fighting for your rights, and
Oh,
you
thank
gradually
you.
get it,
Thank you
we'll
so
get
much.
there.
Thank you. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Honestly, we'll get there. And we should be able to hold our leaders accountable. The
Which
promise you must be able to fulfill. Thank you so
Yes, we
much.
should.
Thank you so
Good to
much.
hear. Thank you
Thank you.
very
And
much.
please keep helping us.
So,
Let me
yeah.
put it that way.
No,
Keep helping
very
us.
good. To
Yes, we've been discussing chapter 2 of the 1999 Nigerian Constitution regarding citizens' rights. Every one of us, as long as you're a citizen in this country, your right must be protected. Okay, nobody's above the law. All right. The program is still Good Morning Abuja. Please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this break. You're just joining us. This is Free Good Morning Abuja on NK and 5 Community Station. This time we want to look at something that is a key. Honestly, I say it's key because the topic is something that we really need to talk about. And we'll have, usual our own business analyst in the house in the person of engineer Abayomi Onosoya. He is the Global Director, Africa House. And today we're looking at fostering sustainable partnerships for national development. Engineer Abayomi, thank you so much for joining us once again today.
thank you. Good morning.
Thank you. Let's kick off by defining sustainable development in the context of national development.
All right. Good morning, Abuja. Good morning, Nigeria.
Mm,
Every nation dreams to be great.
mm,
And in order for any nation to be great, especially in our context, Africa, Nigeria, we need to ensure that our trajectory is a trajectory such a way that whatever effort we're putting in can be can yield the desired result, and at the same time it can be sustained. You don't want something you will do and it will disappear in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. You see, and that is why whatever we do, whatever partnerships we engage in, it has to be on the long term, something that we will benefit from as the current generation and the generations to come also should benefit from that. That's why whatever partnerships we're looking at must be sustainable. And having said that, um, I would like to mention that the role of growing a nation goes beyond government because
You often hear people blame government, 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 all this, even if the rice in their pots, it's not well done. They say, oh, government, they're responsible
Sorry, on the
for the rice.
lighter mood, someone made a joke. He said the wife, your wife divorces you, say it's government, you step up.
Exactly. Then you won't blame yourself. You blame so we need to move beyond this blame game,
Mm.
And yes, while we cannot absolve the government from their responsibility, they have a lot of responsibility too. But the truth is, in order to move this nation forward, we need to take a critical look at how we as individuals and especially the private sector and of course the international partners can help us work together to move this nation forward. What is missing, believe me, in Nigeria today is that partnership, that sustainable partnership. And if we
Okay.
can get it right, Nigeria will go very fast and we will be very, very wealthy as a nation.
Okay, when we talk about partnerships, like we just jokingly said, individuals, we have a role to play. But let's also look at the role of the government, the crucial role they have to play in creating an enabling environment for this collaboration or this partnership.
Yes, like I said earlier, government has a huge role to play. In fact, the onus is on them to create a platform that allows people to come on partner. And for our listeners to understand what we mean by partnership, see, every sector of the economy needs partnership, from security to agriculture, even to media. We all need partnerships. What do I mean by this? We all know that Nigeria is faced with several problems that we're trying to solve. Security is key amongst them, food security is another one. And in order for that to happen, we need to get the private sector involved. Because you see, we have this attitude as Africans. This is not unique to Nigeria. When somebody becomes very, very wealthy from God knows where, the first thing he thinks is, how do I keep my money? You see, if you try, and mostly, and oftentimes, they say, let me go and hide it abroad. The guy goes to Switzerland, goes to where he goes to Italy, buys an apartment and invest all across the nation because he's afraid of inflation, dollar rate, and whatnot.
And these days, sorry, I let people just invest their money in properties.
Exactly,
Because
properties. You see
yes.
empty estates upon that people stand, and there are a lot of people who can't even afford to buy a single plot of land. You begin to ask yourself what's going on. So what we need to start thinking is, how can me as a person or group of people or businesses use that money that we've made somehow, somewhere, put it into the economy to grow our economy so that number one, my money will increase, my money will have interest and also will have a peaceful environment. Let's look at agriculture. Yes, what stops groups of Nigerians, both in the diaspora and Nigeria, coming together to invest God knows how many billions into large scale agriculture? We've left this responsibility to the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. Agriculture, government go and deal with it.
And farmers
The
in the
farmers,
village.
exactly. No, we need to start rethinking the way we do
Wow.
things. And when the harvest come also, we need to have companies, partners who will partner with the federal government or state government to have large scale food processing. I keep saying tomato, tomato, tomato because this tomato prophecy will soon come to pass because in the next 2 months, tomato will disappear and then you see how expensive tomato will be. And funny enough, we start importing tomato paste from other parts of the world. So is that what we really want to do as a nation? And this cycle continues year after year after year. So what can we do when we partner with the government? We can ask, okay, fine, Ministry of Agriculture or the state government, please, give us land or give us an enabling environment for us to establish a tomato processing facility across the 774 local governments. So we mop up all the tomato that is otherwise getting wasted, we put them into canned tomato. And then that tomato will be in storage. So when the season is over, tomato is still available for us to cook our delicious stew. And then the excess we export and start making forex. So we will become a tomato exporting nation. The same thing goes for security. Security, government cannot do it alone. I mean, I know in the past we've had the issue of toll gates, people frown at it and whatnot. But the truth is, across the world, private sectors actually invest in infrastructure. They will build the road and then you have some form of toll system that you pay. Like if you go to Malaysia, they call it 29 there, or even in Dubai, Salik, when you pass through and you pay. Even Singapore is automatic tax, that you pass through. They deduct very little, like 200 naira every time you pass, you see. So that way, you're recouping your money back, and at the same time, you that spend billions on the road, you have to secure it. So that way, we'll now bring in experts who will use drone technologies and whatever technology to secure the area and ensure that people carrying their goods and services from point A to point B, it will be secured. Another example, forgive me, I'm talking because it's something I'm passionate about. You see, look at the train system in Abuja. I used the train system, for the first time this week, when I was traveling, and I was highly impressed by that. This thing actually exists, and it will shock you that the train station is not even far from here. It's actually very close to this NTA5 Abuja station. So anybody who works in the central area and lives in Kubwadede can actually use that train and go home. And I met real people. Because the moment I started the train, my media, thing came up, because I've made community obviously. So I took out my phone and I was making my videos and I asked the gate worker, tell me about this train. She said, I love this train station or this train system. It's been saving me 3,000 naira every day because I'm using it.
Seriously?
Exactly, and that's just one person. And in that particular train, it was full because it was very close hours. So we had like 4,000 5,000 people in that particular train going back and forth. So if we can expand that to all areas of Abuja, now let's say 2,000 savings per person for people working in the central area. Now
Imagine how
how much petrol, how much carbon emissions we're going to save. So what can the private sector do? Let's come together. Let's talk to people in the diaspora, that billionaire Nigerians who are hiding in America and Canada, who don't even say, who don't even know them. But once they know the environment is available for us to invest in a train system that will cover the whole of Abuja and then subsequently other states of the federation, and they're able to generate every day maybe 2 billion naira in revenue. Why not? They will put their money into it instead of hunting for foreign investors. And that would be, if we still have time, that would be the part two of my discussion. If you say I still have time, because I can go
on
on and
and
on and on
on.
and on.
Okay, this time let's talk about the private sector engagement.
All right, for the private sector, the private sector basically involves businesses, commercial banks, and people who have a bit of revenue or cash at hand. Because funny enough, there are a lot of people making serious money even in this harsh economies. Companies
Yes.
that the only way to know is go and check the tax revenues that companies pay. To blow your mind, like wow, people are making this much money in Nigeria, and those monies are just in the banks. Buy, like you said, real estate. People just buy houses, properties, and whatnot. So what they can now do is the government can now say, guys, don't worry. See, we have so and so and so and so sector of the economy that is open for investments. Come and partner with us. It can be BOT, build, operate, and transfer. It can even be direct PPP, public partnership, whereby government has a percentage and we have a percentage. And this is where government, like I said, if I have time, I would like to expatiate on
I
this.
think we'll go for a break now. When we come back, yes, you can now expatiate. We've been talking about fostering sustainable partnership for national development. And you can see Engineer is talking with passion. So please don't go anywhere. When we come back, he will continue. Welcome back. Yes, fostering a sustainable partnership in national development. And like I said, Engineer Bayami was, you can see him vibrating. He has passion for what he's talking about. So let's hear more. Okay, you're talking about expatiating.
Yes, so I mean, in order for all of this to happen, the government needs to put certain things in place. And I'm speaking from personal experience. When I came back from the diaspora after 30 years of running away,
Running away, so you
I came
japa.
back, yes, I did. I came back with a lot of ideas, solutions that I've seen across the world. And then what comes to mind is talk to government, let's get it done. And being naive, I thought maybe I thought this was US or Canada. So normally you write a letter, I have the solutions, let's partner together. You discover that when you go to all these ministries, MBAs and whatnot, you're basically chasing your tail. This is the truth. You're chasing your tail, and yes, while the leadership is interested, they really want you to work, you discover that there are certain elements, I don't want to mention what, who do not want this thing to work for some strange reason. Because to me, it's strange because
Some are not interested in
exactly,
change.
because if change happens, we all benefit. Our children will benefit for some reason, for some strange reason, some forces just don't want these things to happen. Because they believe that we've been here for decades, we've been making money, who are you to come and tell us what to do with all your big grammar and whatever. So government needs to really take a critical look at this. They need to create a system, I believe, under the head of service, the HOS, to say that, listen, they need to go through every proposal, every letter that has come into every MDA and see which ones were deliberately suppressed or which ones were dubiously approved, or this the ones that they want to go. Because the truth is, Nigerians has a lot of patriots. I'm telling you, this is a fact. A lot of Nigerians love this nation. I'm one of them, proud to be one of
one
them.
of them too.
And a lot of Nigerians abroad in the diaspora have actually come back, they've written proposals, but because of the system where we were raised, or where we grew up in, we don't have that mentality of, I mean, robbing people's palm before things go on. You go in only with your passion and with your honesty, and the passion fuels you, and that's why I'm here on NT, because I love this nation. My friends are like, that carry over and run away. Like, no, this is my nation. I thank NTA5 for giving me that platform. And thank you for a wonderful team. The truth is, we need to encourage people who are trying to make a change rather than frustrate them. We've seen several examples. People wanting to build hospitals, who have investors, who have the cash, but when they move in, they move close to that place and they see how dirty or how frustrating it can be. They just put it in reverse, and then they'll go and invest in the Republic, Ghana, and other parts of the world, which is bad. So government really needs to settle, whether it's a committee, whether it's under the presidency or whatever, to ensure that all these opportunities are not escaping from us. And that takes me to my next part of the discussion, is foreign partnerships. While we're running around looking for foreign partners to help us do trains, electricity, food, we have Nigerians who can do this and even better.
Yeah.
And the difference is that when an African partners with you, you're sure that he has the best interest at heart. But he's from there anyways. He knows if he messes up,
And he wants the best.
he wants the best.
But sorry to cut in, there are still some, people who are not interested. They don't, I don't know how to put it. They prefer to get the best out. Meanwhile, bringing in the best here, I don't know whether they are seeing us as people who do not deserve the best.
Well,
Because I don't understand.
exactly. So these are some of my frustrations as a person, and I'm sure if you can check the archives, and Nigerians can barely witness this. When I first came to NTA and we were doing discussions, that time that was the first real increment that happened that time.
Okay.
And we were talking about alternatives right here at the studio. We talked about the LPG CNG alternative. We did an extensive interview on it, and I said the solutions are on ground, that we're trying to work with certain agencies to make this thing work and whatnot. Even we got to the stage of signing agreements and money, but for some strange reason, they just didn't let it work. The same agency today brought in a Chinese company, Indian company, claiming to do the things that we were offering to do for free.
Oh, okay. Because of time, let's briefly look at the challenges and opportunities now.
Well, the challenges, I think I've mentioned some of them, is we need to be genuine in our patriotism. Every MDA needs to be patriotic in their acts. When an opportunity comes to bear to say that we can solve this problem, let them take a critical look, let it fly, especially when it's coming from an African or a Nigerian, because the truth is, I will go around the world. Some of the best solutions I've ever seen in my life are from Nigeria. There were solutions we were looking for that time. We were talking of modular refineries. I'm talking in 2013. We found the solution that was in Russia at that time. And the solution we found was from a professor in University of Osaka in Nigeria. Looking for solutions in Russia, we found it in Nigeria. Can you imagine? So we need to appreciate ourselves, like you said. When you sell your people for cheap, you can't buy them for expensive. You're bad. Respect Nigerians. We have all the solutions. Only the problem is we're scattered around the world because we discover there's no platform. So you discover that somebody who can do this will just pack his bag, might go to Canada and will never come back, and you never know what he's doing for the Canadian government. But because you thought, so far is a great, my brother, I leave this guy, whether for corrupt reason or whatever reason, I don't know. That's all. The opportunities now, this is where I want to get to this attention. Nigeria is an open book. If you are part of something that is being built from the scratch, you have a chance to be a leader in that field. You have a chance to make a lot of money because Nigeria still has a lot of challenges, and those challenges bring money. Imagine somebody comes to you now to invest in the train system now, and God helping us, will become successful. Guess what? You will make money for the next 50, 60, 100 years because you were part of that people who build the train system. Imagine now somebody telling you come and invest in train system in America. You can't make money. The system is already there. So the fact that we have challenges means the opportunities are massive. Opportunities in train system, agriculture, food processing, education, name it. Every sector of Nigeria is loaded with trillions of dollars of money to be made. So look at Nigeria beyond our challenges and start seeing the dollar and the naira signs.
Wow.
Your money is in Nigeria, hands down. To prove this point, go to the airport, see how many foreigners are flying every day. It will shock you. You begin to wonder, what are they doing in Nigeria? If there's no money, they won't come. So
Wow.
the truth is the opportunities are there. So let's take ourselves serious. Let us respect ourselves as brothers and sisters. We have the solution. Let's stop shopping around for solutions around the world. It's here in the brains of Africans, and they're already doing it around the world. So that is my take on
Thank
that.
you so much. Yes,
You're
thank you
welcome.
so much. You know, you said some, let's stop shopping around, for, I don't know how to put it, but let's stop shopping around for the good things.
The solutions that
The
we already have.
solutions, we have them, and Nigerians are very creative. Nigerians are very creative, and I tell you, if you're given the opportunity to build an infrastructure as in Nigeria and in Nigeria, give it your best. A word they say, enough for the wise. Please, let's take this country seriously. We've been talking about fostering sustainable partnerships in national development. We will go for this break, and when we return, Good Morning Abuja continues. Please don't go anywhere.